A new mic. So if anyone can let me know before we get underway. I see Jason in the chat. I see Jake in the chat. Could you guys let me know if you're able to hear me and just like how the audio quality sounds? I'm trying a different mic setup today. And basically just kind of sticking with the same kind of social experiment style of outreach for veganism. So I'd love to know if you guys are able to hear me okay. I'm also trying this noise cancellation feature on these on this mic. So if anyone can please let me know if you're able to hear me, please let me know. Trying a different mic today. So I've got noise cancellation enabled. I've got one right here and then one in my hand. So I'll be able to kind of have like a dual mic setup with people participating. Hey, Martin, great to see you. Martin, question, are you able to hear me okay? And how does the audio quality sound in general? I know I've been having like some kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just lower than, okay, good. I know before it was kind of like, why am I struggling to find that word? Maybe I did take my B12 today. But yeah, it's been kind of like maybe clippy or scratchy or kind of like, I've been listening on the playback, like crackling. Thank you. Thank you. I was having trouble finding that word. Okay, audio sounds very good. Good to hear. Okay, so I've got this mic here, which is like gonna pick me up hopefully. So even if I hold this other one away, like I'm holding it far away, you guys should still be able to hear me. And then I guess I don't really need to speak into the one that's in my hand because the other one's picking me up anyway. So Great Sky Vegan, great to see you here. Let's go ahead and get started. I've got about a little under 40 minutes, I think, to do this. So more or less 40 minutes, I think. So let's do this. I have windscreens also for these mics, but it's not very windy out. So I think we should be fine. And noise canceling is on. So I'm excited for this. We've got the new camera set, or the new phone with this setup and the new mic. So hopefully we'll be able to put together some quality stuff. It's been troubling to me that there's been a lot of crackling with the new mic setup, and I haven't really been able to do really effective shorts because of that. So yeah, I'm hoping that this will be a good quality production here. So I'm going to a little spot here. Let's see, maybe right around right here. It was kind of hell finding a quiet part of the city today for some reason. So we'll count our lucky stars while we can. Martin says image is excellent. That is good to hear as well. So yeah, it's kind of a very crowded, busy day in Chicago. Dare I say, kind of chaotic. Lots of street performance stuff happening. It's Friday, so people kind of have that energy, like end of summer, trying to kind of like get out the last of their crazies, maybe something like that. So see if anyone's willing to participate here in this. Do it. No, you want to do it? All right, we got someone coming here. Hello. Your curiosity got the best of you, huh? All right, well, that's what I'm counting on. So I'm live on YouTube, by the way. Are you okay with that? Yeah. Okay, great. So my name is Haz, and basically I'm just going to kind of run this thought experiment. Do you mind coming into the frame? Okay, awesome. So I'm just basically doing these little interviews. I'm not asking anybody for anything other than just an open mind. Okay. So I'm curious. I'm going to kind of ask you to think a little bit outside the box, like maybe in a way that you might not have thought before. Okay. So that's all I ask for. Okay, so I'm going to just basically paint this hypothetical scenario for you and then ask you, if you want to hold this, actually, that'd be awesome, that we can pick up your voice. The scenario I'm painting involves basically a person who has cut a watermelon, and they let the watermelon. What's your name, by the way?
Tiara.
Tiara, cool. Again, I'm Haz. So
Hi, Haz.
A person has cut a watermelon and they put it on their counter in their kitchen, and they're basically letting the watermelon rot because they're basically trying to do like organic indoor free range fruit fly farming.
Okay.
So they're basically hoping that these fruit flies kind of multiply, and they also get a little bit of fun when like there's so many fruit flies who have bred in their apartment that there's like black clouds of fruit flies kind of flying around, and the person likes to kind of jump around and clap them and see how many they can clap at one time. And it kind of kills them instantaneously. They're just doing it just for the fun of it. It's kind of like the Diet Coke thing, just for the taste of it, but just for the fun of it. You think that's mean?
Yeah, you're killing the fruit flies.
Do you see any issue with it though? Like ethically, morally, I guess what would be the issue with it?
Well, I mean, I save spiders. If I can, I will try to save spiders. Like I get they're a pesky thing. I actually just bought this like little container for fruit flies, and you don't necessarily have to kill them. They just kind of go in there, and then you can go outside and release them.
Oh, wonderful.
I promise you, I got a Dollar Tree. I got 2 of them, and like I've caught some.
And it was marketed as a fruit fly trap?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But it had 2 options. Either you can add like vinegar and like soap, and then that would kill them, or you could just like place it by the fruit, place like a open piece of fruit or something, and it'll attract them, and that's how I caught them. And then I accidentally like let them out, and then after that I did it again, and now I don't have any, but I just let them outside.
You just bought this yesterday?
No, I bought this maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, but still, I mean, that's quite a coincidence that I'm talking about this now. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm talking about is basically somebody doing it for fun, but let's say that they also eat the fruit flies. So like after they clap them, they like lick their hand and eat the fruit flies. And they just get a little extra protein. And the way that they justify it is basically like, you know, they're using them for sustenance, and they're not prolonging any kind of death. The fruit flies are like free range, you know, they're not like in some cramped, crowded, disease-ridden condition. And they're killed instantaneously by the person clapping them. They're killed by the clap instantaneously. So I guess I'm wondering, in that kind of a scenario, would you still say it's mean?
I mean, at the end of the day, to each their own. If you need sustenance by eating that type of protein and that's all you can afford, or that's all you have or have access to, or you're just doing it, by all means, go for it. I don't see an issue.
So I guess if a person was to clap fruit flies just for fun without the eating element, would you still consider that unethical?
What's the difference from people like killing cows to make steaks or eat burgers, or people like that make like these leather goods and all that stuff? Like, what's the difference, you know?
Well, somebody might say that they need to eat those animals to survive. Do you think that is true, I guess? That's a really good question that you bring up.
Wait, what?
So like, you know, if somebody did say, well, what's the difference between like clapping a fruit fly or killing a cow, for example? I think in the case of like a cow, you know, to make steaks, they have a much more complex experience of the world. Like, you know, with the fruit fly,
it's minute.
Yeah, their experience of like pain, suffering might be a lot less than like what a cow is capable of. I think like cows can probably develop like more complex like friendships, inter animal bonds. Whereas I think with the fruit fly, their experience is probably a lot more simplistic. But I guess what I'm wondering is like, would it be possibly more ethical than to do this to a fruit fly compared to a cow who also doesn't die like instantaneously, right? Like with a cow, they're pretty large. Have you ever met a cow, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. And so you know they're huge. Like they with a turn of their head, they can knock a person over easily.
Yeah.
And to kill them, you know, they have their blood bled out basically.
They're a lot more pain.
A lot more, yeah.
But I still think overall, whether it's a small fruit fly, a small spider, or a big cow, whatever it is, they still endure some type of pain. We might not know. I don't know if we can test that. I don't know how far we
I don't really think we can.
Regardless, I still feel like you're still killing them. I don't know. Yeah. You might call me crazy. I don't eat meat either. Okay.
So why don't you eat animals?
I stopped eating meat for health reasons, and then kind of got into like wanting to say, I'm not going to sit here and walk around and be like, oh, save animals, like you're a bad person if you eat meat. But everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own choice.
Well, let me
Whatever.
ask you this: it might not make somebody a bad person if they eat animals, but do you think that if they did eat animals and then they stopped eating animals, they would be better than how they were the day before?
Speaking personally from my experience, when I stopped eating, I slowly stopped eating meat, stopped eating red meat, stopped eating poultry, stopped eating like seafood and all that. I did gain a sense of more energy. I felt more energetic. I also found out for my blood type, it's much better not to eat meat. So health wise, for me, I'm better off, I'd say. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, my husband eats meat, and
Yeah, and I don't know how much evidence there is to really support the idea of like a blood test or a blood type diet kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm wondering is, though, like my question was more about like the ethical aspect. Like, if a person goes from, let's say, contributing to animal exploitation a lot, and then goes from that to contributing to animal exploitation a lot less, do you think that that would be a shift in the positive, like
Yeah.
more virtuous direction
I
in
think
that person's life?
I I don't know. I don't know that it would have like a big influence, but I do think it would make a difference in the grand scheme of things. Like
What about
going
just in
from
their life, though? Not in the grand scheme of things, but like, let's say if I go from killing and eating dogs, for example, to not killing and eating any animals, do you think that that would be like a morally preferable choice in my life? Not to say that
that
I'd
might
be.
change something for you. Yeah, absolutely. Like you might, I guess morally, like you might see like, okay, I went from killing these animals, but what's the reason that you stopped eating them? Just because, just for the fun of it? I
No,
guess.
no, no, no. Let's say I stopped eating them because I had like an epiphany and I was like, wow, these animals, these dogs who I'm killing and eating are no different than the dog who I live with and adore. And I think that they feel pain and suffer and wish to not be exploited. So I'm going to respect their interests and avoid enslaving them or exploiting them, commodifying them for taste pleasure, for just the taste sensation that I forget about in 2 weeks.
I
Do you
think
think that that would be like a growth
yeah, I think
moment?
so. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely do think it would be like a growth moment. It would also kind of like have you reflect on what I used to do. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to say that somebody who, like, let's say, doesn't eat dogs is morally superior to somebody who does eat dogs.
Yeah.
Because, for one, there's this whole speciesism element. Like, you know, in some cultures, cows are revered, in some cultures, dogs are revered. And it's hard to say which species is, like, worse to kill and eat. But I would say that if a person has no necessity to kill and eat animals and they do so in spite of it, that I think there is a moral problem there.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Because you're doing it. I could see what you mean because they're just doing it out of the fun of it, and that's
For pleasure.
yeah, that's
Whether it's clapping, right, or the taste pleasure.
yeah.
Yeah. So I guess in terms of your abstinence from eating animals, do you have any kind of like moral feeling about it as well? Just in terms of like, do you feel like you're doing a good thing for animals? Is that
Yeah.
important to you?
Yeah. I do think it makes a difference. People will say small things won't make a difference, but just to me personally, I feel like it does make a difference.
Yeah.
But
How do you feel about like fur, for example, like the use of fur, like anally electrocuting animals to use their fur to make a hat or something like that, or a scarf?
I guess sometimes like you don't think about it until like you're putting me on the spot thinking about it. Like
Oh,
you don't,
take your time.
and you don't think about it at the time. Like when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get a leather purse or whatever," like you
Yeah.
don't think about where that's coming from, where it's getting sourced
Or
from,
who
and
it's
all
coming
that.
from.
Yeah, like everything that animal has to go through in order to just get that simple purse or those simple shoes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that it's preferable also, morally speaking, to like avoid buying products that are made of animal skin, animal furs, that kind of thing, if we're contributing to industries that are trapping or breeding these animals and horrifically killing
If
them?
that's what you want to do, then yeah.
What do
Like,
you think, though?
what do I think? I mean, me, I'll probably continue to just like shop whatever is like sustainable. I mean, I can't sit here and say like, oh, out of all the times like I recycle every single time, I can forget to and all that, and not. I don't want to sound hypocritical. Like, okay, I'm saying this and then I forget to recycle something. So
Yeah, I'm not
but
talking about like recycling or sustainability, but more like from a moral aspect. Do you think that it is in line with the kind of person you want to be if you decide to avoid buying anything that has like fur from an animal or skin of an animal?
preferably,
Yeah. Would anything be stopping you? Like, is anyone forcing you to? Or do you think anybody would ever force you to buy something with like a cow skin or a fur?
No.
So would you commit also, in addition to not eating animals, to not buy anything that is made of animal skin or animal fur? And somebody gives you a gift containing that, would you say like, oh, that just doesn't vibe with me?
I'd be appreciative, thank you, but like if that's something I don't find use for it, then I might say like I might be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, can I give this to my mom or someone else that might use it?
Yeah, I mean, what if you do have a use for it, but you have alternatives where you can pick something that doesn't involve an animal having to die for it inherently?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, like, so with something made of like a cow skin or made of like a beaver fur or something like that, there's an inherent need for an animal to die to produce that product, right? But with some things, you don't have an inherent need to kill an animal if it's like a textile, man-made, plant-derived, something like that. So I'm just, I guess, wondering if you would think that that would always be the preferable option compared to the thing that would require the animal to die.
Yeah, if I could get it without having to kill something, like a living animal, then yeah, I'd prefer that way instead of if I can get this bag and pay, I don't know, $100, but then get a leather one for $50, even though it's cheaper. Like, I'd rather just get this a little bit more sustainable.
Yeah, because I think, you wouldn't, if somebody asked you to like kick a dog for $50, you wouldn't do it, right?
No.
Yeah, it's the same kind of concept there. Yeah, so I guess I'm wondering what you know about the dairy industry and if you still contribute to that.
Like, what do you mean?
It's
like
kind of going one by one here.
I'm sorry. Like, we were about to go try to find something to eat, so I'm not trying to cut it short, but
No, it's all good.
I appreciate.
Yeah, I guess I'll let you go, but I guess real quick, if I could ask like how much you know about the dairy industry, because I was actually vegetarian for 2 years. I'm vegan, if you didn't guess, and I've been vegan for 13 years now, almost. And when I learned about the dairy industry, like the forcible impregnations, like I thought about like these cows aren't getting pregnant on their own. So the semen's being collected from the bull in some way, either like with an electroejaculator stuck in their butt or by hand, which is disgusting and bestiality. And their babies are stolen year after year, and then they're just turned into hamburger meat or cheap ground meat anyway. So it's all kind of like the dairy industry is the meat industry.
I have seen like that one show on Netflix. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember off the top of my tongue, but like it kind of really explains some things that go behind the dairy. Like, milk isn't good really for humans at all. Human consumption, like milk, because it has like the pus and all that.
Well, milk is for babies, right?
They're able to, if I remember correctly, they're able to digest it better, but it's not necessarily the greatest.
Well, milk is for babies, though, right? Like, in terms of like, why does a mammal produce milk?
Oh,
for their baby.
For their babies.
Their
yes.
baby, yeah.
But I'm talking about like human babies. Like, if I remember correctly, like that was like the wow, I can't believe it. Milk is not good for us. Like, it contains pus amongst all these other things, and they just like bleach it.
They call it somatic cell count.
Yeah, it's
nasty. Well, Tiara, I won't keep you longer because I know you're going to get something to eat. But
find somewhere.
Yeah, so. Yeah, if you're interested in finding like a vegan place, there's a place called Planta, for example, down on like Clark and Hubbard, not too far from here.
Okay.
There's a place called True Food that has great vegan options. I would just encourage you to try to find somewhere that puts less cruelty into what you buy. And every dollar that we spend votes for either consideration for animals or exploitation of animals. So just remember that responsibility is part of all of our daily consumption.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Have a good
Appreciate
day.
it. You as well. Thank you guys for stopping. All right. I think that was a good conversation. I see Alicia here. I see Lewis here. Awesome to see you guys here in the chat. I see Vegan STEM here. I was trying Vegan STEM. I was trying to shift the conversation more toward ethics. Alicia, she said she is vegetarian. So yeah, I tried to kind of like get the conversation a little bit more toward the dairy industry, but they did have to get going. Hopefully the sound is still good. I hope this was like a much better auditory experience for you guys with me giving like an additional mic. So I have one mic here and then this one. It's a little bit higher quality of a microphone. So hopefully, yeah, audio is good. That's good to hear. Awesome. Awesome. Because, yeah, we were plagued by crackling. So I'm really excited about that. And we'll keep going. So if you're just tuning in, my name is Haas, holding the sign that says, come participate in a social experiment. I'm glad to hear that about the mic. I'm super, super stoked about that. It's good to finally find something that works. So if you're just tuning in, we've only had one conversation. Hopefully we'll have a few more. And it's a beautiful day here in Chicago. It's good to be here with you all. Jake says that was a difficult one. You know, it wasn't too bad. I appreciate the feedback though. I was actually, you know, I was happily surprised about the fact that, hey, do you guys want to participate? All right, great. Are you guys all over 18? Yeah. Okay, great. Do you mind being live on my YouTube channel? Yeah. Okay, great. So let's all kind of like step back here if you guys don't mind. And maybe usually I give this mic to somebody, but since there's three of you guys, maybe I'll just kind of hold it out. Okay. Fellow Sox fan, by the way. Good choice. So I'm basically just running a social experiment about a kind of an interesting question that kind of seems a little bit off the wall, but I'm just kind of curious what your guys' take on it is. I know it sounds kind of weird, but basically, let's just imagine that there's somebody who cuts a watermelon and they leave it on their counter in their kitchen. And they basically do this so that it can attract a bunch of like gnats to it, like fruit flies. Yeah. And then they're just trying to basically like get more and more fruit flies to multiply on that watermelon so that they can just like jump around and clap the gnats because they get a lot of enjoyment from like killing the gnats. They try to break the record of how many they can clap in one clap, stuff like that. Would you guys think that? I know it's really, really weird. You know, like you're just walking around on Friday and some guy's just like, what do you think about this like gnat ninja guy? Yeah. But like, what would you think about that? Do you think that there's any issue with it?
Killing gnats.
Yeah, just for fun, like a person breeding them into existence and then just kind of instantly
really bad, and I feel like gnats shouldn't even be around because like it automatically make you want to do this when you outside.
Yeah.
You be
like, yeah, I know.
Like,
but the person's breeding them.
Yeah.
He's leaving a watermelon. He's letting it rot on purpose for like a week.
To bring it
Yeah.
And he tried to break a record, like to see how many gnats he can kill, kind of thing.
Yeah, but they're not in his apartment before he actually like leaves the watermelon out because they're breeding. It's like a petri dish on the watermelon. Do you guys think there's anything like wrong with that?
Yeah, I feel like he should throw the watermelon away. Just not even participate in that type of stuff because it's like, what are you doing? That's dirty. Try.
I feel like the
gnats, dirty. Try.
The gnats they can't bite you, so they're not bothering nobody. They just there.
What do you think about the fact that he's like just bringing them into life though? Basically, like you know, there's maybe like 2 or 3 gnats at the beginning, and then like 2 weeks later, there's like 300 of them, just like a dark cloud of gnats, and they're all over the walls and everything. Like if he opens a door, they all fly up.
No, that's no go, no, man.
Yeah. Hey man. Yeah. If you that person and you got gnats keep on growing off of an animal or watermelon or anything, you need to get that fixed. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so I guess if I could just kind of like tie this up into where I'm going with this, just so you guys aren't like lying awake at night wondering what the hell was that about. Basically, I'm an animal rights activist. So I'm a vegan of almost 13 years, and I'm trying to basically get people to say like, if we can care about a gnat, for example, and not want them to be harmed, then let's also extend that moral consideration to like cows, pigs, turkeys, chickens, fishes, other animals. Yeah, and other animals who suffer much more in more complex ways, are capable of, you know, love with each other, strong bonds, complex behaviors we don't even understand. So I'd recommend if you guys want to check out anything to follow up on this. For one, it's my YouTube channel. It's called Haas Vegan. So my name is Haas. So it's just H-A-Z Vegan, all one word. And I'd also recommend a documentary. It's out of Australia. So it's just H-A-Z Vegan. All one word.
HIZV.
HAZ. Hey, how's it going? We're just. Do you guys? Are you with them or? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm just running a social experiment basically about animals, animal rights. Yeah. Take care. But yeah. So that's it right there.
Okay,
I appreciate a subscribe, and I'm out here oftentimes and just trying to speak up for other animals to basically get moral consideration, kinder, more compassionate world.
I got you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Keep on
Yeah,
going.
and,
Positive vibe. Keep on.
Yeah, I
pushing
appreciate
forward
that. And
too.
check out the documentary Dominion.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, Dominion 2018. It's horrific to sit through, but it basically shows you what the standard practices are in these industries.
All right,
Thank you guys. Have a great Friday. All right. They had to get going, but I think that was a pretty good conversation as well. Yeah, I think with the gnat thing, sometimes I have a little bit of trouble transitioning that to the vegan topic because it's just so off the wall. But if you're just tuning in, my name is Haas, and I'm running a social experiment thing. I'm just holding a sign that says, come participate in a social experiment. And the whole idea is just to get people to stop and reflect on ethics, speciesism. I don't know if you guys heard that, but there's like this air and water show this weekend. So that was a flyover of some kind of fighter jet or some kind of combat aircraft or something like that. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was extremely loud. Yeah, I didn't actually see the plane, but it sounded like it was pretty close. So we might get a couple more of those flyovers.
Hey, let's do it.
All right, great. Do you guys mind being live on YouTube?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So if you wouldn't mind coming into the frame here. So if we can just kind of back up. If you guys want to maybe be on the same side just so I can hold the mic. If you want to maybe stand over there. Okay. So my name is Haas, and I'm basically running a social experiment, as you see. So all I ask for is just an open mind. I'm going to kind of ask you guys some questions that kind of maybe get you to think a little bit outside the box.
Okay.
But it'll make sense later. So are you guys visiting, by the way?
Yes.
Where are you visiting from?
Texas.
Texas? Cool.
I'm from Texas too.
Awesome, cool. Happy to have you here. So, basically, I'm asking this kind of strange question about imagining a scenario where a person's basically cut a watermelon and they left it in their house, like in their kitchen counter, and they're just letting it rot. So imagine that maybe back at your place in Texas. Are you guys both over 18, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's a little bit, ethically nuanced conversation, so I just want to make sure. So, let's say a person cut a watermelon and they leave it on their counter, and their intention. Wow, we have a lot of flyovers today. There's like an air and water show this weekend, so there's like fighter jets or something flying over. But anyway, they're letting this fruit rot so that a bunch of fruit flies will breed on the watermelon. And the reason the person's doing this is so that they can basically have like a whole dark cloud of fruit flies flying around like gnats, flying around in their apartment or their house, because they get a lot of joy from clapping and killing the fruit flies, like a ninja, just jumping around. It's like this athletic activity for them. They get it's like a sport basically. Do you guys see any issue with anyone doing that?
I think it's a bit odd.
Yeah, I think it would be a bit odd as well.
Yeah. What about like a moral issue though? Like, do you see anything necessarily is there anything wrong with it?
I think to an extent, like if you're purposely going out of your way to kill, they're just fruit flies, right? But if you're purposely going out of your way to kill them with a bad intention, then it's what are you doing?
I feel like there's a different ways, cause he's doing it for an athletic reason, to get
Just
an
for fun.
athletic purpose out of it. I feel like there's other ways you can get that same athletic exercise from doing other things other than doing that. You know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any moral issue with that though? Just to be clear, you mentioned there's other ways to do that. I guess is the end text of that kind of there's other ways to do that don't involve harming animals, basically, kind of thing.
Harming
Other
animals?
ways to have fun, because gnats are animals, right? And if we clap them,
Yeah,
we're basically
I mean-
killing.
Yeah, it's it could be a gnat, it could be a cat. If you're collecting cats just to kill them for whatever reason, it's the same thing. Like,
Oh, yeah, maybe it can have like something psychological in the head, like, oh, I want to kill him,
yeah, because
and
then you're doing it with
that's
like,
why he's doing it. And then it kind of turns into something bad.
yeah, because you're doing it with like a bad intention.
Bad intent.
Yeah. So in this scenario, and I appreciate you're kind of playing along here. What if the person just licks their hand and eats them afterwards? Do you think that like that would make it okay? So he's basically like they're free range, right? They're just flying around the apartment. They're killed instantaneously, so they're killed in a much more quick and I would say humane way than the way that like pigs, cows, chickens, turkeys, fishes are killed in like animal farming. Do you think that in that case you would be like, all right, well, as long as you're eating them, then it's fine?
No, it's still the same thing. You're just eating them. You're just.
That is weird as heck.
Yeah. So I guess, are you guys against animal farming? Sounds like. Are you guys vegan?
I think like a lot of what they're doing at animal farms is wrong. Yeah, and I don't think they should be doing that. But I'm not vegan. I'm not like I like my meat, but I don't agree with what they're doing for sure.
So if the guy, clapping the fruit flies, or the guy like, breeding cats and killing them for food, just said like, yeah, I mean, it's not a perfect system, but I just enjoy eating cats, or I just really like the taste of all these gnats, like the way they crunch when I eat like 20 of them off my hand. What would you just say, like, all right, I guess like that's fine?
I mean, like, you can get it from somewhere else. Like, instead of eating cats, you can eat something else. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right. I don't think you should be doing that. But I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I could just be like, there's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
I think.
But like, I guess what I'm wondering is like if wow, this is like so loud. Is there any? Oh, I saw the reflection of it. Is there any like moral issue? I guess so. You say you don't really like how animals are farmed. Like in the practices, there's something kind of messed up about it, right? Like,
well, like I haven't looked into it like too much, but I've just seen like videos and stuff about like the abuse that some of them have gone through, and like obviously I don't agree with that. I don't think it's right.
yeah.
But I don't think that changes my mind necessarily on like eating meat or
Yeah, so let me ask you this. I guess like you mentioned like abuses that happen in those industries. Would you say that there's a way to like farm an animal without cruelty or abuse to them?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like farms, they do like I know I have friends that have like farms and stuff, and they like have a bunch of cows and pigs and stuff, and like they butcher them and they sell the meat and everything, but they're not like cruel with it. They're not like.
But so you would think that it would be cruel to the animal, to the gnat, though, to just breed them and clap them, right?
Well, I think because if you're doing it with like an ill intent,
To
yeah.
eat them for the crunch,
But they're doing it for like,
taste pleasure.
I guess, yeah. But
You guess it would be immoral? Because I mean, so even in the most idyllic, if I could make a claim, even in the most idyllic cow farming scenario, they're suffering a lot more when they're killed compared to the way that these gnats would suffer if you just clap them.
But I think the difference with the gnats is that you're doing it like, who eats gnats? Like no one eats gnats to survive or whatever. And I guess it's like you're killing them because it's fun, because you're doing it for. But like with like animals, like if people eat animals, they use animals for like everyday food and stuff. So and it's been going on for like, it's like normalized now. So
It's normalized,
like,
yeah.
So it's not like weird.
Right.
I guess.
But I guess you mentioned, the person's not eating the gnats to survive. Would you say that the animals you eat are necessary to be eaten by you for you to survive?
No, you don't have to eat them to survive, but like
Yeah.
I said, like it's like normalized now, like you eat them in everyday food or.
Yeah. Would you agree that throughout history there have been things that have been normalized or that were normal at one time that we've since kind of progressed as a society to decide that it's not actually ethical or morally aligned?
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah. You want to maybe name an example?
Well, like I was in boot camp, and there was a lot of things that were not like normalized. Like they used to be like tossing people around, hitting them, slapping, and then it was like normalized. Like, hey, that's not the right thing. You can discipline them in other ways other than like hitting and slapping. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, as like time goes on, like I feel like when other people are put in charge of different things, they have different morals than the person that was last in charge. So they get in office, or like they're in charge, they change those certain things.
Yeah. So, if you guys didn't guess already, I'll kind of cut to the chase. So, um, in a second. So I'm vegan, and I've been vegan for about 13 years almost. And I basically fight for the rights of animals. So I don't necessarily try to convince people eat this or eat that kind of a thing, but it's more that I try to get people to reflect on the values they already have. Because I think a lot of us don't think about this because of the fact that using animals is so normalized. We're told that it's natural. We're told that it's necessary. I think you already understand that it's not necessary. So I think that's one step of unlearning what we've been taught to believe. And I would just ask you to kind of look more into these industries because it is the case that when we pay for animal products, that we are voting for that system to continue. So if we want this moral change that we talked about, like this kind of evolution of culture, we have to vote with our dollar and we have to be the change that we want to see in the world. And I would just end by saying that the pleasure that you would get from like say eating a piece of cow or something like that, I would say that it's not too different than the pleasure that somebody would get from like clapping gnats for sport, because both are unnecessary. And I think if something is a necessary evil, if it's no longer necessary, then what are we left with? Just evil, right?
I get it. Yeah, I guess.
So I'll let you guys go, but I'd recommend a resource called Dominion. It's on YouTube. If you type in Dominion 2018, and my channel is on YouTube too, by the way. It's called Haas Vegan. So my name is Haas. It's just HAZ Vegan, all one word. So you can watch this on there too, or when you go back to Texas, you can be like, hey, this dude is still out in Chicago on the streets speaking up for animals. But I appreciate you guys stopping. And just one last question before I let you guys go. If you guys aren't committing to going vegan, which it doesn't sound like you are, how many animals would you say would you want to have killed for you, like to sustain you for the rest of your life?
How many animals?
Mhm.
Like a number?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could say.
Just for me?
Is it greater than 0?
Heck yeah.
So how many animals do you think should die for you, like for the rest of your life?
Just for me?
I think that's hard to say though, because like I don't eat eat meat
how
every
many-
day or.
How much meat does killing one cow get you? Because there's like different meats in a cow. How much cows do you have to kill like to get a?
Yeah, I mean, a cow, you would probably, I mean, I don't know how much animal flesh you eat, but you'd probably require maybe like 2 or 3 cows for the rest of your life, on average, I would think.
So like for certainly like 70 years, 3 cows would be sufficient.
But
Maybe.
it just depends on how much you eat, like.
Yeah.
Because like I have like my mom, she's a carnivore, so she eats nothing but meat. So she'll eat meat like every day, and like I eat meat, but I don't eat meat every day. Like I'll eat meat like maybe once or twice a week. So it's like it just depends on how much you eat, really. But
Yeah, what do you guys think, just out of curiosity, of like the fur industry, for example? Like, do you think it's okay to anally electrocute like an animal like a beaver or a raccoon? That's how they're killed, for their fur, just to make like a hat or something like that, or a little fur end of a scarf.
I mean, I feel like that comes down to the economy. Like, if the economy is bad, like that's how the economy builds. Like, selling stuff like that, that's necessary. But like, when it comes down to it, like, really don't need like a hat.
Yeah, you don't need a hat. We can farm like cotton or something, you know, make a hat out of that instead of like literally a dead animal.
yeah, I mean like that. Well, that's like something they've been doing for a long time. So I guess it's like same thing. It's been normalized. Like back then, they actually needed it to survive. Like they
Yeah.
needed blankets and coats and
Yeah,
stuff.
but the
And
fact
then
that
now-
something's normalized isn't a defensive. Sorry to cut you off there, but just like the fact that it's normalized, a lot of things were normal at one point, right? Like 50 years ago, if you said that people who are gay should have the right to marry each other, you know, a lot fewer people would support that. The law wouldn't support you in that. 100 years ago, if you said that women should have the right to vote, you know, the law wouldn't support that. You know, 200 years ago, if you said that African American people have the right to not be treated as property, the law wouldn't support that in this country. So I would encourage you guys to continue to challenge your beliefs, and don't just go along with the status quo. Actually ask yourself why you believe what you believe. So I would encourage you guys, lastly, just to check out a documentary on YouTube. It's called Dominion. If you search Dominion 2018, it's a documentary out of Australia that just shows you like standard practices of animal farming, and just watch it. It's like it's gruesome and horrific to watch, but it's not just like a highlight reel. It's literally just like this is what we do to cows. This is what we do to chickens. And just ask yourself if it's okay, if like the violence that you're seeing is something that you're okay to pay for.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I appreciate you guys stopping. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Enjoy your time in Chicago. All right. Take care. All right. Thank you guys all for being here. If you haven't already liked the stream, do smash the like button. Bop, 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 double tap on your phone. If you're on a TV, just do a little scroll up or whatever. Hit the thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. So I appreciate everybody for being here. Lewis says, no human ever eats all parts of a cow or a pig. Most only eat certain small parts. So far more than 3 innocent cows are killed for a single person. Yeah, I don't know. I had to guess, but I imagine, a cow just weighs probably 500, 600 pounds or something. Yeah, I just had to kind of guess. But yeah, thank you guys all for stopping. Nathan says, gay, see ya. I'm not sure if Nathan's talking about himself or themselves. I don't know Nathan's pronouns, but yeah, in any case, thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate everybody for taking the time to tune into the live stream. I do these 2 to 3 times a week or so, and I'm going to try to be out here as much as I can before the weather turns super, super cold in Chicago. Thanks again. This has been a pretty fun live stream here. So thank you guys for being here. 502 Outlaw says, if you want to be vegan, then be vegan, but you have zero right to dictate how others live. Stop it. Don't infringe on my rights. 502, I'm not dictating how anybody should live. I can't tell you what to eat. I can't tell you what to think. I can only try to get you to think and then hopefully reflect on your moral values. And, if you're against unnecessary cruelty, exploitation in a nutshell toward animals, then I would hope that you would align your actions with your values and not contribute to the said systems of exploitation and violence. So I'm just making an appeal. I'm making an appeal to your higher self. I'm not telling you what to do. In any case, thank you all for being here, and take care, everybody. And let's think of 3 things we're grateful for real quick while we're here. I'm grateful for this nice gentle breeze we have right now. It's really nice. It's been hot and humid lately, and there's like a nice gentle breeze and feels really nice. I'm also grateful for shelter. I'm grateful that I have like a roof over my head. There's people who don't have shelter and have to deal with the elements and have a really difficult life circumstance. So I'm also grateful for that. And I'm also grateful for having an able body. I'm grateful for having 2 arms, 2 legs that work. Occasionally my knees get a little sore because I have a history of marathon running. So my cartilage isn't what it once was. I'm kind of a little bit like Bruce Wayne in The Dark Knight Rises. The cartilage is a little bit worn down in the knees. But anyway, grateful for the breeze, grateful for shelter, and grateful for working limbs. Hopefully you guys can all find something to be grateful for as well. It's so important just to have some gratitude. It can literally be the difference between, a good day and a bad day, literally. So again, be grateful, and thank you guys all for tuning in, and take care, and bye for now. Catch you guys again, and viva la vegan resistance. All right. Take care now, everybody. Be well. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all. All right. Be well.